Hey, good morning. It's Dr. James. I do hope and pray this message finds you and your loved ones peaceful, thriving, and well. And yet it is absolutely a spectacular morning today. And I want to remind you of something we have talked about several times, but every now and then I get this hit that you needed a little bit of a reminder. And you know what? It's because I need a reminder too about the simple things that we can be doing for mental health, emotional stability, physicality that's resilient, and allows us to navigate these very, very unprecedented times, but also not just navigate them, rise above them. And that doesn't mean rise above them in such a way you're not compassionate and you don't see what's going on, but you become a demonstration of what's possible in spite of what's going on. You know, we've talked a lot about forest bathing, Shinrin Roku, but I want to give you 3 reminders about how powerful the outdoors is. And I have to admit, I fully get that I'm leaning against a treehouse that's connected to a tree that's well over 100 years old, and I am very blessed here to 8,000 feet. There's no question. But just the ability to see the sky. So if you live in a city, if you live in a suburb, if you live in a multifamily housing space, just getting outdoors, seeing the sky, and extra credit, yes, extra credit if you can connect with a branch, just seeing a branch like this, touching a tree, any of these things. This is the 3 things that you can expect to have happen. Number 1, you will lower cortisol. Now, cortisol is natural, it's naturally occurring, but what's happening today, studies show, is that our levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, are now chronically elevated. And when they're chronically elevated, we have a chronic depletion of serotonin, which is our happiness, our centeredness, our calmness, our directedness, our intentionality is connected to serotonin, is what allows us to stay afloat during these times, but also have a optimistic vision of how our lives can be. So we got to really work on cortisol. And when we're outside, seeing the sky, seeing trees, we help to lower cortisol and boost our serotonin. Number 2, this is really, really critical. We actually help to lower heart rate as well as blood pressure. Imagine that. Just getting outdoors for a few minutes a day to intentionally allows you to get your heart right with the world, right with your inner world, so you can be right with the outer world and be the change you wish to see in the world. And number 3, it helps to lower 2 inflammatory hormones. Number 1, interleukin-6, the other one, C-reactive protein. They're both associated with heart disease, with cancer, with depression, with Alzheimer's, with all of those things that we want nothing to do with. And here's what's amazing. It's so simple sometimes we don't give ourselves permission to fully allow ourselves to celebrate the simple things that we can do. Sometimes we're like, oh my gosh, I got to get way up in the mountains. I got to get to the beach. I got to get to the park. You know what? Awesome if you can do that. But if you don't have the time, the energy, the wherewithal to do that, just simply write down, I'm going to take 1 to 5 minutes several times a day and get outdoors. Why am I doing that? Because I'm lowering my stress. I'm increasing my resiliency. I'm giving myself an opportunity to put out those 2 inflammatory markers. So I'm putting the flame down and rising up from the ashes to be this amazing, beneficial presence on the planet. Every single day, we make choices. Every single day, our self-efficacy of witnessing ourselves following through on those choices. It's on the line, and your life is up for grabs every single day. There's more to life than increasing its speed. There's something about getting outdoors that sort of is a reset, I think, physiologically and emotionally, and I believe spiritually. It helps us to remain connected, to reconnect, or remember the currency of compassion that begins with ourselves. It's a time to be really invested in your spirituality, in your self-care. And do it with a level of intentionality that just moves any of the blocks, any of the worthiness issues, any of the stuff that stands between you and your self-love. Just get it out of the way. So you, yes, you, can show up and be what it is that you know you need to be today. Your own best friend, a peaceful presence, a heroic demonstration of what's possible. And do it. Do it like your life depends on it. Because I do believe more than ever, it does. Our lives do depend on this. Showing up, I just want to catch that light. It's so good. So with that, have a beautiful day. I love you. I believe in you. Peace and blessings. Bye for now.